On the Citi Newsroom today, we are bringing you a story of an abandoned project, except that this facility is not a new one, it's rather an old one. It's the old Shai Osudoku District Hospital here at Dodowa in the Greater Accra region. It's a hospital that has been left since the former President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, constructed the ultra-modern Shai Osudoku District Hospital. Every staff personnel have moved there. Facilities have been moved to this new hospital. But what is the state of affairs at the old hospital? Now, the frontage here from the car park looks nice because it's been painted and ready for use. We are told there's a medical experiment ongoing at the frontage, and this site is also being used as children's clinic, and that is happening on daily basis, we are told. But this bigger story would be at the back, where the hospital used to have its ward, the OPD, laboratories, and other facilities. And that is what we are here to assess on the Citi Newsroom. Now, if this hospital were functioning and you came here for treatment and perhaps you had some unclear information that you wanted to clarify, the typical place to go to at a typical hospital would be the information desk. Now, if you look behind me, the signage here says information desk, and it's a Shai Osudoku District Hospital, vision to become either the best or among the best district hospitals in Africa for the best quality of patient care, teaching, or research. This door is locked and dusty. This shelf is dusty. Now, there are chairs in there. I believe someone would have sat there to give me the information I required. There's no one, obviously. There are cobwebs. There is what looks like a safe or a container in there. But the door is locked and the cobwebs covering the chain or the chain lock and the padlock. I peep through, I see broken down doors and there's brick fluid. I'm not sure what that purpose would be serving. There is a signage. One points to laboratory on the left, records as well as treatment rooms. Then there's theater on the right, labor ward, kids ward, consulting room, and then emergency OPD, pharmacy, and revenue, all in the middle. That would have been the entrance. I'm going to scout around to see if there are other entry points into this building. This is the back of the building. It's a tiled compound, but because it has not been used for many months, if not many years, the weeds are growing. Now, the windows here, and they are generally glass, opaque windows, are competing, or the view here is competing with the plants that are growing. And one strange thing, there's a window, a slide window, and I met this opened. Inside, archives. There are folders, hospital folders. One that jumps at me, James Atto. I don't know who that may be. There's Totime Obed. Now, there are shelves that are carrying files, and in there are boxes with scattered folders that look like they were hurriedly dropped. There is a broken hospital bed on the floor. The ceilings have no bulbs, even though there are sockets. There are no fans. I do not think there's a power source here. I can't go through the window. I'll still look through, skirt around to see if there's another entrance that I can use. This looks very weedy. The paint is peeling off, and, well, there's a back door. Let's attempt to see if we can go through from here. Okay, this is opened. Just now, the entrance. Okay, let's put this here to hold this door. And the first building on my right takes me into the washroom. There are some supplies that have been packed. I'm not sure if it's refuse packed on the floor in plastic bags. These washrooms don't seem like they've been used for a while. Let's go into the main building. Now the floor here looks a mess, scattered all over, folders that have been left on the floor, gloves, boxes, and other equipment. Child health record is what I'm reading from this particular document. Then there are patient folders. There's a building on my right, a door on my right that says records. And it has a hell lot of records. I peep through because the door I can open because it's covered by boxes, all over boxes lying on the floor. Looks like they've been haphazardly packed here. Electricity broken down, but of course, no one is supposed to be working from here. Let's move on and check other parts. Now there's a hospital bed inside. I think it's movable. It has wheels. Okay, this can move. Yes, all 4 wheels intact, except there are no bedding on it. And then more records of patients. We'll move on with our tour. It's a very dusty place. The floors are dusty. The ceilings are dusty. There are so many broken down items, hospital records, abandoned beds, from windows that are broken down, louvers that are broken down. This looks like a theater. Number 2. Okay, this can't be opened either. Give it another try. This is a washroom. And it looks like someone hurriedly packed out and left the rubbish behind. This door is locked. I cannot go through. This divides the building into halves, but I peep through the window, shows the same pile of rubbish, dust, papers, plastic, and other abandoned old equipment that are supposed to be used by a typical hospital. So that is the interior of the old Shai Osudoku District Hospital. How can this building be put to better use? Those are the questions we have on our minds here on the Citi Newsroom. In the meanwhile, several other plans could be had. Community members have thoughts of letting this place be converted into a school. It could be easily converted into a school. It could be converted into a hostel. It could be converted into a training school for medical staff, according to some of the community members. And there are, of course, several other plans that they could be putting this building to use. That, for now, is not happening. And it is so sweaty and hot here, I have to walk out. Now, this hospital we are talking about is in the Shai Osudoku district. The man who has the presidential authority to superintend over the locality here is Mr. Akufo. He's a DCE, District Chief Executive for Shai Osudoku, and we've come to his office to have a quick conversation and have an understanding of what the plan would be from the assembly in utilizing this old abandoned health project. Sir, you're welcome to Citi Newsroom.
Thank you very much.
I believe this old hospital building should be a place of concern to you. As an assembly, what are the plans you have for it? Have you noticed that it is abandoned?
It's not totally abandoned. Yes, indeed. The hospital was moved from the old location to the new site. Taking office in May 2017, one of the things that I did, and the proposal that I put in place by even writing to the Ministry of Health, was for us to use it for educational facility as a nursing training center, because per my engagement with people living in the community and some other opinion leaders, they indicated that if that place can be used for a nursing training center, and unfortunately the ministry couldn't give an approval to that proposal because they thought that there's a lot of accredited nursing training schools, and they had put an embargo on accreditation for nursing training. The district health director has assured me that per what they are doing in terms of research and occupational therapy that is being done over there, they are definitely going to expand into that building. But I want to assure you that by next week, even before you come, I'm sure that the place will be, especially the outside that is unkept, we'll make sure that that place is kept. We'll ensure that the doors and other the areas that have been opened, we'll get them locked up.
That's an assurance from you?
Yes, I want to assure you.
Well, on the Citi Newsroom, when we bring you a story, we try to get you all the angles necessary. We've seen the structure or the hospital facility that the abandoned Dodoa or Shai Osudoku District Hospital. We've also said to you that there's a new hospital that has been constructed, which has been in use for some years now. That is the Shai Osudoku, the ultra-modern Shai Osudoku District Hospital. But who runs this hospital directly, and what is the plan with the old hospital? Dr. Kennedy Brightson is the medical superintendent for the Shai Osudoku District Hospital. I've come here to speak to him briefly about the plan for the new hospital. Hello, Doc. You're welcome to Citi Newsroom.
Thank you, Mr. Omaru Sanda.
What is the plan with the old place?
The old structure.
Yeah, the old structure.
The old structure. Well, 4 years ago when we moved, there were plans then from the office of the former Director General that the part of the old structures would be used for palliative care. Palliative care, that means that a place where the terminally ill will be seen, where they will be managed and given comfortable life until they exit. Yeah.
Now, the specific place that we have interest is the one with the overgrown weeds, the dusty nature, the broken windows, and the unlocked back door. The fact that you have folders carelessly packed in that room.
No, I would not say carelessly packed.
It looked right. It looked properly arranged. Not lying on the floor, boxes scattered all about, as though someone came to vandalize them.
Yes, I like what you said, as though someone came to vandalize them. Recently, we've had thieves breaking into the structure. We use part of it as storage for folders. The folders are overwhelming, so we use part of it as storage for folders. Now, thieves are breaking into that place day in, day out. When you put security there, they still break into it. Let me say that even when we were there, thieves were breaking into the wards and stealing from patients and staff. And now that you are no longer there, if you look at the door properly, you would have seen or you would have realized that there was a chain across the door.
There's one with a chain.
Yeah, you saw the chain.
But the back door is open.
Yes. So they even break the door and pass under the chain. There is a way they do it. We don't know the technology they use in doing this.
Okay. For the viewer who knows that taxpayers' money was used to build that place, what will interest them is, when are we going to see that place being operationalized or utilized?
I think that I don't know, I can't tell you about specific timelines, but what I can say is that there are plans in the pipeline to do what I told you about, and hopefully, if things go through well, we'll be able to have one of the best palliative care units.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
That's Dr. Kennedy Brightson. He's the medical superintendent or the director of the Shai Osudoku District Hospital, which owns an ultra-modern facility but also owns this old facility that we've been bringing to you here on the Citi Newsroom. My name is Umaru Sanda Amadu. Stay with us. More coming up.